So, welcome to our meditation time. As you begin to just settle in whatever position you have found for your body in this moment, I would invite you to soften your gaze or close your eyes. Before we get too deep into our time together, just take these next few breaths to just kind of scan your physical body. You can start at the feet, you can start at the head, just wherever feels more natural, but just kind of check in and just see. Across the shoulders and the neck and over the back body and the rib cage and the hips and all those trouble spots that we tend to pay a lot of attention to. Just scan and see physically, how are you in this moment? Try not to pass judgment as you notice, but just take all the parts in. And as you do that, notice the configuration of how you've arrived. Maybe you're seated, maybe you're lying down, maybe you're stretched out, but just however you have arrived, just notice that and feel if it honors what your body needs in this moment. And then give yourself permission to adjust if you need to adjust. So just pause and notice. In our Yoga Sutra that we'll focus on for these few minutes that we have is chapter 2, number 46. And it is the sutra that describes asana. Asana, this thing that we know to be these physical postures, these physical movements, these things that we do on a yoga mat. But just listen to this translation and this beautiful way of looking at asana. Because when this was written nearly 3,000 years ago, we didn't have all these poses and postures that we have now. But yet Patanjali still talked about the power, the impact of asana. He said in Sanskrit, Sthira Sukhamanasana. And when you translate that, it means asana is a steady, comfortable posture. And I'm sure already you can think about postures where you don't feel steady and where you don't feel comfortable, but notice the posture of your body right now. If you're seated and your legs are crossed, notice that. If you're seated and your legs are kind of stretched out, notice that. If you're stretched out long, lying down, reclining your back down onto a surface, notice that. And see if you can feel the steadiness and the comfort of what you've chosen for yourself for these minutes. Sthira Sukhamanasana. Asana. A steady, comfortable posture. And then the words of Adi Shankara, this sage from many, many years ago, somewhere around the 8th century. He said, while these postures cannot produce the ultimate goals of stillness, peace, and enlightenment, they're really valuable in removing the obstacles to stillness, peace, and enlightenment. So just listen to that again. While these postures cannot alone produce this ultimate goal that we have of stillness and peace and enlightenment, they truly can serve a purpose of helping to remove some of the barriers to us experiencing stillness and peace and enlightenment. But we have to be willing to give ourselves permission to move our bodies in a way that really honors what we need in this moment. Because asana was always designed to help us sit in meditation. Just think about that. How often have you shown up for meditation and the body gets restless and you feel like you just need to move, and when the body starts to wiggle and move, then the mind follows and you feel like the meditation has just ended. But then think about those times, maybe right now even, when you've given your body a chance, you've given it permission to shift. And as it shifts and it gets comfortable, it begins to feel steady. And then the mind follows that. So again, our postures are not going to give us enlightenment. They're not going to give us peace. because they're going to help us get rid of the things that are in the way of it. And so again, just take your awareness back, just kind of scan through the body, and just notice how prone are you to being kind to yourself physically. If your right knee feels a little iffy, do you allow yourself to uncross your legs and stretch that knee out so the body can become comfortable, the body can become steady, and the mind can follow? So just notice how you feel. Notice how you are seated or lying down right here in this moment. And again, notice how prone you are to letting yourself adjust. Or do you just grit your teeth and force yourself to be still? Sthira Sukhamanasana. Asana. Comfortable, steady. Just like we want our minds to be. I think there's a beautiful connection between this Yoga Sutra way down deep into the second chapter and that very first one that we have shared many times together in chapter 1, verse 2, when it says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga calms the fluctuations of my mind. Because I think we could skip ahead to the one about asana and say, as I use these postures to bring comfort and steadiness to my body, the fluctuations of my mind become quieter. So right here in this moment, if you feel comfortable where you are, stay right there. If you need to adjust, adjust. And see if you can experience real comfort right in this moment. See if you feel steady in your physical body. And then begin to just notice your mind and what it's doing. Sometimes I think the mind is just kind of watching to see what we're doing, and then either following along or trying to pull us a different way. And I never really can quite understand why it does one or the other. But I do know that when I bring comfort and steadiness to my body, my mind follows. Just feel it right here. Sthira Sukhamanasana. The word sukha in the middle of that sutra means easy, but not easy like we think of it in the English language, but more it means full of ease. Don't you aspire to that for your body? Full of ease? Don't you wish that for your mind? That is what the limb of asana, that is what the purpose of these postures is all about. It's not to see how long you can stand on your head or how high you can lift your foot into the air. It is truly to bring comfort and steadiness and a sense of ease to your body, to your mind, and to your spirit. So let's turn our attention to our breath and let's just see if we can kind of lull ourselves into that. Bring some soft stillness, just like you're rocking a baby to sleep or the wave is gently coming into the shore. Just trying to find this ebb and this flow. As you slowly breathe in, and as you slowly breathe out. Breathing in Breathing out. In, out. Steadiness, comfort, ease. Steadiness, comfort, ease. And now just stay right where you are and try to cultivate that. Sthira Sukhamanasana. Steadiness, comfort, ease. Continue with that awareness of how the body feels, the state of your mind, the rhythm of your breath. And just imagine for just a moment here, what would your decision making be like if you approached it from a state of steadiness, comfort, and ease? What would your rest look like at night when you lay your head down to go to sleep? If in the hours leading up to that moment of bedtime, you cultivated steadiness, comfort, and ease? What if in the busy moments of work, still producing the things that you have to produce and attending to the things that you have to attend, what if you approach them all with this state of being, of steadiness, comfort, and ease? I know it sounds like something that you do in meditation, but then you wonder how in the rest of my life, in all those parts, can I do this? So I practiced this today, knowing that I wanted to share this sutra with you. I started my day leading meditation. It was a walking meditation in honor of Earth Day. And then I said, as I closed it out, I said out loud to myself in my home, I want to mindfully walk through my day all day long. Steadiness, comfort, and ease. I don't want to be impatient. I don't want to rush. I don't want to get frustrated when people do things, because they will. I want to continue this walking meditation as the guide for how I walk through all the parts of my day. And I will tell you, as I got up from the computer around 5:15 or so, I felt light. I felt at ease. And I really caught a glimpse of what this looks like in the reality of my life. I've tried it on so many different levels and so many different spaces, but today I did it from the beginning to the ending. My nervous system was calm. My body still felt vibrant after a long work day. And best of all, my mind was at ease. I still did the things and attended the meetings and checked the stuff off the list. But I mindfully walked through my day with steadiness, comfort, and ease. And it worked. My encouragement to you is to try it. Pay attention to your physical body. Let it give permission to your mind to find quiet. And then let those two parts let you enter your day and see what happens. Namaste.